Hey, welcome to the Cohn Phone. Good morning, Grant Cohn here. Draft just, you know me. Draft just wrapped up. I'll be here for an hour. Then I have to go look for houses, which is fun. It's my second job on the weekends. So I call in. Let's talk about Debo. Let's talk about any individual pick the Niners made, undrafted free agents, big picture stuff. Real quick, I want to say my big picture takeaway from the draft. I didn't really like this draft very much. I felt like it was essentially a one-player draft. Drake Jackson. That was a good pick. Every other player seemed like, are you even a top 100 prospect? I mean, I know a lot of fans like Danny Gray. He reminds me a lot of Dante Pettis, like a faster Dante Pettis. We'll see if he's better than that. The running back, I mean, a running back in round 3, that running back in round 3, I don't know. Okay, one player draft, Drake Jackson, good player. That was BPA at that point, but it's like he didn't fill a need. And my thing is, are the Niners better off with Drake Jackson, who's a good pass rusher? Until he becomes a little stronger, he's going to be a rotational pass rusher, probably give you 300-400 snaps a season, maybe 4, 5, 6 sacks. He's good. He's a really good pick. But would you rather have that or trade up for a starting center like Cam Jurgens, who went 10 picks ahead? Because that guy's going to play 1,000 snaps a season. I'm just saying, it seems like the Niners are basically begging Alex Mack to come back and play one more year. When you ask, they're like, we have a plan and we have a kind of an idea of where he's leaning, but we don't want to say. Like, dude, that's the plan, is to beg Alex Mack to come back. Are you going to pay him more? If I were Alex Mack, I would want to raise, if that's the deal. So instead of just like holding out hope that the Niners can convince Alex Mack to play one more year, I don't know. I'm just curious. Drake Jackson was the best pick, but in retrospect, are they going to regret not making a move to target a player at a position of need? Cam Jurgens is good too. Drake Jackson, really good. Doesn't really fill a need at all. The Niners are extremely deep and loaded at defensive line. Like, that's their best position. Offensive line, weakest position. They went to the best position instead of the weakest. They added to a strength instead of their only weakness. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer to that. Maybe Drake Jackson is just going to have a way better career than Cam Jurgens. Maybe. But the Niners had 9 picks. They could have moved up. They made no trades in this draft. That's my big thing. Like, they took the one good player they got in this draft. The way I see it, doesn't even fill a need. So how do you give this draft anything higher than a C? I think it's the worst draft they've had. Sorry. Okay, let's take some calls. Not your average sports kid, man. It's been a minute. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there.
This draft is just bad. It's just really bad. There's some people that they like it, and I just don't get that at all. The Drake Jackson pick, he's a good player, but it wasn't a good spot for him. I don't like taking a D end. I mean, I was okay taking a D end in the second round if we traded Debo. That was the
Okay.
only I found it okay, because
Okay.
we would have traded for. If we traded, we probably would have traded with the Jets, and we would have gotten the 10th and the 35th. So we would have had 2 picks before that we could address the O line and maybe a safety or something like
Good
that.
call. Good call.
But I didn't want to draft. I was fine with drafting at 61, but not without Debo, because why are you keep addressing the positions that we don't need and just making it a strong suit and adding depth?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
we needed safeties. We didn't even get one of those in the draft. We just got 2 corners, which we added that and Traverse Ward, which I wanted a corner in the draft, but why did we get 2?
Yeah, safety was a bigger need. What happened to safety, man? What? Yeah.
Even Mr. Irrelevant, why the heck? The only reason I like the Mr. Irrelevant pick was that might be the icing, the cherry on top for Bye Bye Jimmy. That's the only reason that could be a good
with
pick.
that pick, though, is like, why don't you take someone who has like a 2% chance of making the team as opposed to a 0% chance of making the team?
Exactly. Unless Jimmy's gone, there's no reason to make
pick.
Exactly. I felt like if I swore, like, I knew we needed O-line and I knew we needed safety, but something in my gut told me that last pick that we were either going to go quarterback or running back, because I knew it was going to be like a want for like the last pick, and I was right. I wish it was a running back, to be honest, because I'd want that better than I would a quarterback, but whatever.
I think the Niners were looking for someone who could play safety and center, like a safety/center, and they couldn't find that. And so they just decided to abandon both positions. I don't know. I think what is the plan at center? Is it to just keep calling Alex Mack every day and be like, please, Alex, we love you. We need
That
you.
or we call
What?
one of the tackles that have never played center in their whole college career and be like, hey, we need
It better,
we
the
need
plan
to
better not be
change.
Brunskill. He's a terrible center.
Yeah,
Terrible.
or we could call one of those tackles and go, hey, I know you've never done this before. I know you've played every single position but this. But we got a little bit of a problem at
Isn't
center.
that what the Niners love to do? Hey, you've never played this position, but we think you can do it. We're going to move you.
Exactly. Debo has like never played quarterback before, but he can do that now.
Yeah. Oh, you're a wide receiver. You're actually a running back now. Oh, you're a left tackle. We think you got right guard capabilities here. Thanks.
Yeah. He like even in the Super Bowl his rookie year, there was a play where he was getting ready to throw, but nobody was open, so he had to run. So
hey, here's the best one. So they took that Zakel guy. What's his name? Nick Zakel from Fordham.
Don't even. That's just butchering
it. So they took the small school guy from Fordham, and he's got a J on the end of it. It's Zakel with an L and then a J. So
Zakel G.
No, it's just pronounced Zakel, and so freaking John Lynch comes out at the end of the draft and like is joking around that they didn't know how to pronounce his name. It's like, dude, you drafted someone that you don't know how to pronounce his name. How much research did you do into this small school dude? Like that was pretty funny to me.
Yeah,
like, we were calling him Zakel the whole time. Like maybe you should not have drafted him then if you don't know how to pronounce his name.
I was doing a show with Swan Song at the time, and we draft Samuel Womack. He's like, I've never heard of this guy. Look him up. And he's looking him up on Twitter, and he's looking him up on YouTube. He cannot find a single highlight video. And the only highlight videos he finds are when, like, the Niners, like, post, like, the videos of, like, every, like, single pick, and then they're, like, highlights. Like, he can't even find it. I was like, you know what? If you find it, you know where he's going to find it on, like, Huddle, where you're going to find, like, all the high school prospects. Like,
this is real quick, and then I got to take another call. But this is kind of what I thought happened in this draft in the '80s and the '90s. This is what Al Davis used to do. Al Davis used to pick the players, but he didn't do a whole lot of film research. I mean, he watched some, and he would have his crushes. 7 to 10 players that he loved, and he would tell his guys, "You draft these guys." And so what the Raiders would end up doing is sort of reaching, because you had to have these guys that Al said these are his crushes. So you can't really wait until when they should go. You got to take them like a round early to ensure that you get them. And every pick after Drake Jackson, Ty Davis Price, Danny Gray, Spencer Burford, Sammy Womack felt like it was a round early, at least a round early. And I'm thinking these are whatever, like Kyle crushes. I love Ty Davis Price. I got to have him. I love Danny Gray. I got to have him. Just like how he loved, CJ Beathard and Dante Pettis and Joe Williams and Trey Sermon. Like, he gets these crushes, and no one in the organization can be like, Kyle. He'll be there in the next round. And if he's not, there's other guys. Like Kyle, like, no. Ty Davis Price.
Like, what's the worst part about this Ty Davis Price thing? What? Is that it was the same thing that happened with Trey Sermon last year. The second we picked this running back, you just saw Kirby Joseph go off the board, Marcus Jones. And it was like, what are we doing?
Because the thing about that pick, I feel very strongly that Ty Davis Price would have been there at 105. Did anyone in the room have the guts to be like, Kyle, he'll be there at 105? Can no one say that in the Niners war room? Kyle, he'll be there.
He might have been there for the next pick after that. After 105.
Dude. All right, man. I gotta take another call. Thank you for calling in. Always good to hear from you, man.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, later. Yo, Kim, I'm gonna get Karan in real quick because he's in his car. He's making me nervous. Like, you gotta go somewhere, man. What's up?
How are you?
Late for an important date. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay, so 3 things. One, no matter what happens, there's no way around it. Debo looks kind of like a moron with all the shenanigans going on, and he didn't get traded. The optics has now switched over. The 49ers are, butchering this. They're not doing really well to now. Okay. The Niners basically told Debo, sit and wait. And all this hoofla, the guy who didn't do anything, who's represented by the same agent, got the money, got more money than the Titans given him, didn't have to go through all the anguish that Debo's going right now. So to me, as an outsider, not in it, the tables have kind of turned, and it's, I see a little bit of Debo scrambling a little bit, from the perspective of that. So I think it's kind of funny, that he chose to see if he could bully his way out of it. The 49ers didn't act like the Sacramento Kings. They basically said, too bad. You know what I mean? So I know it's still early, but what leverage does Deebo have other than sitting? Whoa,
I'll explain that. Hold on.
Go ahead.
He can be very difficult. I mean, he can, do the bare minimum so that he gets paid. He goes into the season. He plays well for a few games. He gets hurt. He shuts himself down. And that's it. And the Niners be like, well, you're hurting your value. Okay, I'm also hurting your team. How many games are you going to win without me? And you know what? I'll get paid this offseason. People love me. And if it's not as much as I want, fine. But you know what? I'm out. Deebo's a very emotional, competitive person. And I feel like he is channeling all of that into this fight with the 49ers. And just because the Niners say we're not going to lose, I feel like Deebo's just as dug in. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think this is over at all. And
I don't think it's over at all. But here's the thing: if Deebo and so my counterpoint was, you're telling me right now Deebo's stock at a skill set level has never been higher, and this league is what have you have done for me lately. So you're going to tell me that a team's going to give him $27 million if it clearly looks like he gave up on the 49ers the next season rather than try to get it from the 49ers right now?
They're banking on that they can keep Deebo Samuel against his will, and that capitalism will force Deebo Samuel to play like he did last year. It's not going to happen. He's not going to do that. He and his agent are going to find a way to do the bare minimum for the 49ers and get out, and not lose an accrued season, not hold out, but do the bare minimum, be as difficult as possible, and get. I mean, players do it all the time, man. And all.
So let me ask you this: If I had a truth, polygraph, do you think Deebo's ever going to replicate what he did last year, ever again?
I don't know, man. Maybe not. I mean, look. He hasn't given great indications this offseason, right? I mean, he's had issues with his weight in the past.
Looks like he's having a really good time. He looks like he's having a really good time.
You always have that question, right? How's a guy going to handle a big influx of money? Well, it's not looking good yet. It's really not looking great. I don't know, man. I think it's possible that the Niners made a big mistake not trading him on draft night. That they could have had their pick of Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams. They could have got the 10th pick and just moved on. You don't want to play.
They could have ripped the Band-Aid off. Yes, if they've got.
Hey, that's Robert Saleh. That's your problem now. We'll take Jameson Williams. He's Trey's age. We're gonna move on. I mean, they might really regret that because I bet you Jameson Williams would love to play for the 49ers, and Deebo, frankly, doesn't want to.
Okay. All right. So we'll TBD to be determined.
Hey, it's a saga. We're going to see what happens. I'm really curious because Kyle thinks he can fix this.
Yes, he does. That was very true.
And I'm curious.
And you know what? The John Lynch. Now that I look at the John Lynch press conference, I took it another way. I saw it as a dad that didn't want to call out like his son, like air dirty laundry, and that's why he was so uncomfortable. Sure. Kyle seems like the person who doesn't mind calling out, anybody. You know what I mean?
When I pressed on it a couple of nights ago, Kyle was like, "Look, I have a great relationship with Deebo," and that's what I keep coming back to. He thinks that players have a loyalty to him. I'm curious about that, man. Like, is that the case? What's up with Alex Mack? Why is he? To me, like, actually, Mike McDaniel was very popular. And he's gone. And he took a lot of people with him. Wes Welker. There was a lot of popular. McDaniel was, from what I heard, Deebo and McDaniel are like this. More so than Kyle and Deebo. So I'm curious, Kyle. Like, this is the big test right now. Like, are you as popular as you think you are? Or is Parag lurking over your shoulder? Does everyone kind of know that he's part of the deal and that you're only as powerful as Parag and Jed allow you to be? It's possible.
That is very possible because I feel like, at the end of the day, it's a business and there's an optics of it. And this offseason has been quite strange in that aspect.
Oh, the optics have been bad. The Niners have been fighting to get the optics on their side, and they're not succeeding.
As go for the draft, I will remind everybody that everyone thought last year's draft was A++ for the most part. And that draft was... They got nothing from that draft. Nothing. They got so much out of that draft. They were banking on those players last year to do something this year. So I think it was a paradigm out of necessity. And, I think they went with the player skill set rather than Kyle's scheme skill set. And I feel like this draft more so looks like Kyle was like, yeah, we're going to draft people that I think are going to do well in my system. Right. And so because they didn't
I got a theory.
address some things, you know what I
got a
mean?
theory. First 2 offensive picks, running back, wide receiver. Well, if they trade Debo, if that happens, because they might have to, right? They don't know. They can't even get
They're
him to
protecting themselves. They're protecting themselves, yes.
Yeah. I mean, they got the running back and the wide receiver. You got to replace Debo with 2 players. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. I'm just saying. They're prepared.
Okay, so and you know what the craziest thing about all of this is, and I'll remind people, that Jimmy's still on the team still. So it doesn't really matter if Debo's there. I mean, that's going to be like a footnote. If training camp starts and Trey does really well, and then 2 weeks into it, before it starts, Jimmy's ready, what do they do? What do they do? Do they bank on a quarterback being injured in the next 2 weeks before training camp starts?
Here's what's going to happen with Jimmy. They're going to draw it out, and then every single starting job is going to be taken, and they're going to try to get him to take a massive pay cut to like $5 million to be the backup, and he's finally going to say, no, cut me. I want to go. I don't want to be the backup here, I think. And then the Niners are going to have a big decision to make. That's a real slap in the face. Stay on the team, be Trey Lance's backup, take $5 million. Like, I can't imagine.
I understand.
That's like slapping someone across the face with the glove. It's not even the hand; it's the glove slap.
You know what though? But that slap,
it's like 3 of them, man.
Jimmy gonna make $5 to $10 million on the open market.
Who cares? I think from his perspective, $110 million. I want to leave. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I want to get out. Stop holding me against my will.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm Jimmy, and if Trey even falters, because what's the narrative going to be? The Niners have a lot of pressure to not only make the playoffs, but to make at least the NFC championships.
Dude, if
Trey's
he's the starter because unless they've purged the locker room of all of his supporters, but I don't think they have. I mean, this happened last year. The locker room has to say Kyle wants to be liked. The locker room says we want Jimmy. Kyle's not going to fight it.
Well, and again, you have to remember there's a whole new coaching staff, so they've got no credibility or no equity with the players. Everyone is starting anew. You know what I mean? In some aspects, even the coaches. So it's on Kyle to straighten this out.
Yeah. All right, Cohn, I got to take some more calls.
One last thing. Advice: don't settle on a house. Pick the one you want. Don't do it.
Oh, I know. We're aiming high. And when we get turned down, it's like, all right, let's keep looking. That's fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Good strategy. All right, bye.
Appreciate you. See you. One thing I want to say real quick is I know people have been asking about merch. There is a survey in the chat box, in the description on my YouTube, on my Twitter page. If you're interested, just click it and say the stuff that you would buy, and then we'll start producing that stuff. Just want to say, because there could be a Cohn phone T-shirt that you could wear while being on the Cohn phone. If you're into that kind of thing, I'm just saying. I'm going to take some questions real quick. Bay Area 9, I'm going to get all you got. Bay Area Niner says that the 3 best quarterbacks in Niners history all had 10 letters, first and last name. Wow. Joe Montana, 10. Steve Young, 10. Jeff Garcia, 10. Brock Purdy, the next. Trey Lance is 1 away. He's got to add a letter to his first name. Wow. 10. That is some, what is that, gematria? I don't even know. D-Wood 7300 says Debo and Saquon send Debo to football purgatory. Debo for the Saquon. No, it's cool. They got Ty Davis Price. They don't need Saquon. They got Ty Davis Price. Sid Brown says, draft says, Kyle believes quarterback was the problem. Not blocking, not defensive backfield. All picks were about depth or leaning into a strength. Kyle says that quarterback was the problem, huh? Well, maybe you should have played the kid last year then. Oh, that really bothers me. All right. Ekim, what's up?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Tired.
Good luck on the house search.
Thanks. I like it. I enjoy it. It's fun. You go into a house, you fall in love, you think you might get it. You don't get it, you move on. I like it.
Exactly. So
yeah.
Anyway. To me, some of the plans of the front office are fairy tales with lots of pixie dust. So you're expecting a 36-year-old Alex Mack, who's taken a lot of impacts in his career, to come back for one more season with more impacts.
It's May 1st, and they're like, well, they won't say. So what's up with Alex Mack? They're like, man, I don't know. He just got married. We meant to call him. It's just we're kind of giving him some space right now. Like, what? Pardon me? Excuse me? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
not how we do business around here.
And that's the same thing with Mike McGlinchey. You know my position with him. I've always said that he was made by Quentin Nelson at Notre Dame, and you reached
that's
when you got him.
That's the truth.
And then
wait and see on him too, right? Alex
Yes.
Mack, Mike McGlinchey. Is there anyone else? Oh, Javon Kinlaw. Wait and see on him. That's 3.
And expect Trent Williams to continue playing at a high level as he gets beyond his
Here's what's really
mid-30s.
scary. I'm sorry to cut you off. He misses at least 2 games every year. What is this offensive line without him and Laken Tomlinson and Alex Mack potentially? Like, you don't have to have the best offensive line in the league, but you can't have a bad one, can you? I don't think you should.
I've told this to Rob on his shows that currently the offensive line is Trent Williams with Mo, Larry, Curley, and Shemp. I love Shemp, so I always thought he was underrated.
Why I was like arguing against signing Trent Williams. I felt like this was going to happen. If you spend so much, if you have the highest paid left tackle in football, the rest of your offensive line is going to be question marks. And maybe that's not true. Maybe there are other ways that you could. But unless the Niners are not committed to the offensive line, they're committed to the defensive line. On the offensive line, like, well, we're good at left tackle. Like, that's one player. It's like having one good pitcher. Well, what about the rest of your rotation?
Yep.
You know, nice, sweet.
Didn't Bill Walsh, when he had Steve Angio, try to get a good offensive line so they could protect him throughout the entire season and a playoff run? I think that was Bill Belichick's position when he had Tom Brady for all those years.
What position did the Patriots draft in round 1 this year? Offensive line. Offensive line. Cole Strange. Yeah. So I don't know. The Niners have a different philosophy. It's all about D-line, D-line, D. Like, okay, that's great, but your offense has been worse than your defense for years. And your offensive line is the weakest position on your team. Why? But they just drafted a bunch. They got 2 more guards this year. That's great. They got 2 guards on day 3.
Hopefully one will pan out. So hopefully, if that's their expectations, okay. But
it's like the competition at left guard is going to be what? Aaron Banks, Jalen Moore, Cole McKivitz, Justin School, Spencer Burford, Zakel. 6-way competition. I like it. One guy might be good.
Yep. And one last point on Debo. You saw what Philadelphia gave A.J. Brown as an extension. Use that as a starting point. If he says no to a real big number,
trade him.
Then trade him.
I don't understand how they're still. They should have worked this out by now. I mean, Tennessee isn't trying. They didn't dig in with A.J. Brown. It's like, all right, we'll move on. Fine. They got something for him. The Niners could have had Jamison Williams right now. If they trade Debo now, what are they going to get? Something next year? Good luck.
They'll get those beans from one of those fairy tales, those magic.
It's dangerous trading for a pick next year because that team could end up being good and it could end up being a late first-round pick. You could have had the 10th pick now. I'm just saying. The Niners better work this out. They better do some Hakuna Matata with Deebo Samuel and make it all work out.
Yeah. So, all right.
No worries, right? Okay, anyway, I'll see you later.
Yep. Thank you, Grant. You have a nice week.
What it do? I know you like this draft, so go ahead. Tell me what you liked about it. I already know. I know you like Danny Gray, so I'm not even going to argue. But why don't you say what you liked about Danny Gray?
You know what? The first thing I wrote down were a couple of your tweets that I got to come at you for. A couple of years ago, you called me your quality control because I'm not afraid to call you out when I feel it's necessary. So last night you tweeted, Danny Gray is Dante Pettis with speed. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not. Okay. This guy's dynamic. He's way more electric after the catch. He can catch a short pass, accelerate, get yards. Pettis could never do that, but he wins down the field. This guy's a track star. In Texas in high school, 100-meter track star. That's all right. True. This guy, Danny Gray, ask your boy Larry Kruger about Danny Gray.
I know Larry likes him a lot too. Can I just say real quick my concern with him?
Please.
He's 186 pounds. So like the thing with Pettis, the way I remember was the Niners were trying to sell us on his toughness when he came out. He was a punt returner. You can't be a record-setting punt returner without being tough and fearless. I mean, that's what they said, and then it just didn't translate from the Pac-12 to the NFL. I'm just curious with this guy. He's 6'1", 186, and he's a body catcher who drops the ball a lot. Like with Jimmy, I have no problem with that because Jimmy throws a feathery pass. But with Trey, I mean, you might need some Anquan Boldens on your team to catch the ball. I'm curious about the fit. Anyway, it was a late 3rd-round pick. I'm not crushing it. It's not like they took him in the mid-2nd round.
Hey, when he's catching the ball 60 air yards down the field, the ball's not.
Better not drop it, baby. Don't drop it.
It's coming down a little bit softer when it's 60 yards down the field. But hey, Grant,
he's fast.
Who needs Alex Mack when you got Jake Brendel, right? We got big Jake Brendel.
How many times did John Lynch say Jake Brendle's name? He's like, it's like a drinking game. Like, hey, if he mentions Jake Brendle one more time, you got to take 2 shots.
I know. So
did Jake Brendle go to UCLA? He might have. I got to stop talking crap.
I couldn't tell you. I was evaluating him like in the preseason and what I saw. He looked all right, but we'll have to wait and see. You know, I'm optimistic. And then the other tweet I got to call you out on, Grant. This has been the worst draft the Shanahan Lynch regime.
Yeah, I do feel that way so far. I do.
For me, I gotta wait and see. These guys haven't even played a game in the NFL, so it's
of course.
I don't like.
I have to give my snap judgment. I'm gonna give grades this week too, individual grades. The way I just see this, like right now, it looks like a one player draft. Now, of course, there's probably going to be someone that emerges. We'll see. But like even in 2017, I mean, they got Kittle in that draft, even though they had some real big misses. So
tell me
got
about
Warner
it. Don't
the next
remind
year.
me.
Yeah.
So Drake Jackson, you like the pick. I like the pick.
I like
phenomenal
the player.
Pass rusher.
I like the player.
Okay.
The pick is just I can't get over the fact that he doesn't fill a need, and you could have had Cam Jurgens, and I still don't understand the plan at center. Maybe Alex Mack comes back and plays till he's 40. I don't know. I'm confused.
Jake Brendle, dog.
Jake. Have you not heard of Jake fucking Brendle? I wish John Lynch had said some shit like that. Yeah. Do I have to say Jake fucking Brendle again to you? Excuse me.
Yeah. And we did get a couple undrafted free agents. I know undrafted free agents, you can't
Donovan West, baby.
Donovan West. Everyone wanted him in like round 3 or round 4, and we get him as a UDFA. And then the other guy, Jason Poe, Adam Mercer. Yep. I know Niners Twitter was enamored with him as well. So we made some moves on the O-line. You know, your boy Nick Zakelj out of Fordham. Come on, man. 4-year All-Patriot League. Come on.
Senior Bowl, baby. What do you think of the running back? What do you think of the running back?
The running back, it felt like a reach. I had no idea. I hadn't watched him before the draft, and then you go back and you're kind of scrounging on all the information on YouTube to see what you can see about him. He runs with some power. I do kind of like him, but it does feel like a reach because he was way down on all the lists, whether it was CBS, ESPN, PFF. He's way down on this list. It's like the 14, 15 running back.
Didn't it feel kind of like Kyle's like, I need someone who can. Debo doesn't want to play running back anymore. I need a running back who does like Debo. So I need someone who's like 220 pounds, who runs hard and runs a 4.48. Give me someone. Is there someone? Okay, this guy. Okay, let's get that guy. Like he fits those 3. He checks those 3 boxes. Runs hard, 220, 4.48. All right, let's see what he's got.
Hey, and he's a price, and the price is right. I'm a price, so I'm a little biased. I might be.
And he's an
higher.
LSU running back with a hyphenated name, like Edwards-Helaire or something like that. So I mean, he kind of runs like Fournette a little bit, like a smaller Fournette.
Yeah, he's powerful. He's like a big bowling ball.
A big bowling ball, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So
can he get to the edge though? I mean, because that's the whole thing, right? Elijah Mitchell runs hard too. Can he get to I know he runs a 4.48, but he doesn't look like he's super. I don't see a big burst with it. I see maybe build up speed. That's kind of what I see.
I think that means we're running more pistol. It's going to be more pistol, right? Where Trey can threaten the outside and the running backs are going up the gut. That could be.
Does Trey threaten the outside? I didn't see him threatening it last year, man. That was the weirdest thing with Trey. He's much more he's good on the draws and the scrambles, but once it's time to do the zone read, give me Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick can turn the corner, man.
I'm going to get out of here. I'll leave you with, we talked about Drake Jackson for a quick sec, but this guy, his production, he had 5.5 sacks his freshman year at USC. That was his high in terms of sack production, but this dude was totally misused at USC. Grant, they're dropping him into coverage.
I know.
What are we doing?
No, I mean, dude, I have no question that he's going to be good. You pair that upside with Chris Kasarik, it's like a lock and a key. I'm not questioning it. He's going to be good. And you got a good pass rusher. It's hard to knock it. I'm just saying, what would you have done there? Just hang tight, take the best player available at a position of strength, or move up for Cam Jurgens?
No, I wanted Drake Jackson. And actually, I posted my live reaction video to my YouTube. Subscribe, Bay Area Baller 18, all one word. And as we're on the clock, I'm like, Drake Jackson's there. I really like this guy. Wouldn't be mad at the pick. And I even mentioned Danny Gray in the second round. And then I did say second round feels a little rich for Danny Gray, maybe later. So I essentially called the first 2 Niners picks. I'm basically in the Niners draft room. Grant, thanks for having me on. Talk to you soon, all right?
All right, man. Good to see you.
All right.
Peace. MGM Production says, can you and your dad narrate the timeline from the Harbaugh era? Give us all the interesting developments within the franchise starting day one. Yeah, one day we can do the best we can. I don't know how much inside info we really have. Eugene, what's up?
What's up, Grant?
How you doing, man?
This draft hasn't made me happy. So I don't understand this. I get it. Debo doesn't want to play running back. We're probably going to keep him. Why draft a running back, though, when you could have drafted an O-line, or you could have drafted a safety, which was between the running back we picked. The Bengals picked a safety, then the Chiefs picked a safety. Why didn't we? Why?
Why did the Niners not draft a safety at all? I think it's clear that the Niners really like Talanoa, whether they should or shouldn't. I don't know.
Well, so
and then what was the other question? Sorry.
I was gonna ask, after our picks in the secondary with I believe we picked up 2 cornerbacks and 2 safeties. Do you feel better about the 49ers secondary now?
I mean, they took safeties, undrafted free agents. They're fine. I like the second corner they took. It seemed like that's the kind of he was a late 6th round pick. He's 6'1", runs a 4.3. He seemed like a good gamble late. I don't know if he's going to make the team or anything, but I don't know. I mean, the corner, yeah, they added Charvarius Ward. The corners are better than they were last year. They started Josh Norman last year. That was terrible. So they're better. They're better.
Okay, so do you think, because this draft we strengthened all our strengths and did nothing of our weaknesses? Do you think that drafting an edge rusher and a running back will help mask some of the holes we have?
I'm curious to see how much these guys play. Like last year, the rookies didn't play at all. Drake Jackson. How much is Drake Jackson going to play as a rookie? He's really young. He's not big enough to start and really play against the run. He's going to be a rotational pass rusher. And if he isn't clearly the second best one on the team after Nick Bosa, how much is he going to play? I mean, that's fine. Well, I'm just curious because there's also Samson Ebukam, who's on the team and makes a lot of money. There's Kerry Hyder they just signed. There's Jordan Willis. There's Charles Amen. I mean, there's a bunch of grown men vets on the team. This guy's 21. He looks really, really gifted, but like how long until he's actually playing? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the question, because last year Aaron Banks didn't play. Talanoa Hufanga didn't play until halfway through the season. Elijah Mitchell didn't get his carries until Raheem Mostert tore his ACL. So I honestly do have hope that the 49ers are going to play their rookies because they have no other choice, honestly. They don't. They put all their eggs in this basket, and I honestly think they might honestly do good. I think the edge pressure of taking Drake Jackson, I think that's definitely going to help the secondary because we're going to get more pressure, more waves of pressure, and it'll make a quarterback scared to throw deep.
For sure, right? You can't have enough pass rush. It just seems like the defense is not a problem. The defense is good. No. The defense is very good. The pass rush is not a problem. The defensive line is not a problem. I think it's amazing that I don't know, but they did draft a lot of offense. I just felt like the offensive players they took were reaches. They were Kyle Shanahan crushes.
I feel like Gray wasn't much of a reach. I feel like we could have got him in the 4th round, but in the 3rd round wasn't bad. I feel like he filled the need we've been needing for the past couple of years, an actual deep threat. A young guy that we pay nothing, and he wants to go out there and run. So I think that could really help this offense, but who's going to give Trey Lance enough time to get it?
I would have preferred Calvin Austin. That's who Pittsburgh got him. And Pittsburgh usually knows how to draft wide receivers. I don't know. Danny Gray, he's just giving me big-time Dante Pettis vibes. I mean, he drops the ball a lot. To Tommy Huxley's point, the scouting report for Gray is not good. He catches the ball with his chest. He's a good deep threat, but like, what about on the digs and the stuff over the middle? Because that's what Dante Pettis couldn't do. Anytime you asked him to like catch the ball near someone, it was not happening. So I'm curious with Danny Gray and his fit with Lance. But anyway, I got to take more calls, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. Take care, Grant.
Take care. Tommy. Rob, you there?
I'm here.
What's up? What's
What's up,
up?
Grant?
Hey, good to see you,
What's going
man.
on, man?
Chilling.
Dude, I was thinking about something and I thought it was interesting. So, what do you think? How do you think the offers that the Niners got for Debo on draft night, how does that affect his negotiations going forward with this contract? I want to hear your opinion.
I feel like it's pretty clear what he can get. I mean, he's basically he has the same agent as AJ Brown. He's had about the same career as AJ Brown. He's gonna command about what AJ Brown gets. And if the Niners aren't willing to pay that, then I think him and his agent are gonna say we're not meeting you in the middle on this one. That's just the rate. So I just feel like it's solidified it. You know, I think he's going to get less than AJ Brown. He's going to get about the same, maybe $1 more than AJ Brown. And if the Niners want to pay, I don't understand what Kyle, he's saying. I have a great relationship with Debo. Dude, it's business. You either tell Debo you can pay him what Philly paid AJ Brown, or you can't. I don't understand what they're waiting for. It's so confusing to me. Do you understand?
The AJ Brown, he went for, was it 1 first or was it 2 first?
First and the third. And the first was like the 13th pick. So the Niners were going to get the 10th pick, but they had to give up their own second, which would have like knocked it down to the value of like the 18th pick. So that's what you're worth, man. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I kind of felt like maybe it was it kind of gave a little more leverage to the Niners, just because it was like, here's what the league, thinks you're worth, basically, kind of. But
yeah, $25 million a year, about 57 guaranteed. I mean, I think that's what they're saying he's worth. I think that's what he wants.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like Kyle, when he says I have a good relationship with Debo, what he's saying is I can convince Debo to take less. Dude, no, you can't. Isn't that what he's saying? We have a good relationship, but it's not about relations. It's about money.
Kyle, the voice of reason, man.
Figures.
The voice of reason.
What are you talking about? Oh, Debo, you like me. I'll get you the ball. This is a family. Nah, man, 25 million. That's it. 57 guaranteed. I don't understand. Kyle is killing me. I think he's having a tough time. I think he's looking around this locker room being like, man, people don't look at me the way they used to. I'm getting side-eyed.
Right.
Lost a little trust. They didn't see this Trey Lance thing coming. Now I got to purge the whole team. Now Mike McDaniel's over in Miami taking my coaches and my players, making me look bad.
Having lunch with his
rapping
players.
Mike Jones. I know Mike Jones. I like Mike Jones too. Kyle isn't the cool. I wear Yeezys. Well, yeah, Kanye's not as cool as he was 5 years ago, is he? Just saying.
Maybe McDaniels was really the cool coach,
No, he's just not the cool coach he used to be. Mike McDaniel took the play away from him. As soon as he dropped that Mike Jones reference, it was over.
Exactly.
Sorry, Kyle.
But as far as the draft, I do think the running back out of LSU they took, I think that was a big reach. That's my only critique, really. Your tweet about it being the worst draft in the Lynch-Shanahan era, I think that was a little harsh, just because we have that 2017 year with Reuben and Solomon Thomas in the first round.
Kittle that year. That's all I'm saying. They got a all-pro tight end that year. The next year they got Warner. The year after that they got Bosa and Debo.
True.
The year after that they got
True.
Ayuk and Jennings. Last year they got Lance and Mitchell. This year they got Drake Jackson. That's the way I look at it. We'll see. We'll see how good Drake Jackson.
You said you're going to do grades. You're going to give grades out individually.
Yeah.
You should do 1 year later, last year's draft.
I love that. Love that.
Do a little.
That's a great idea. I love that. I'll do that.
But
for you,
anyway, man,
dedicated to you.
That was my topic. That was my topic for the day.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man. And congrats early on the house search. When you find
congrats on getting turned down. Yeah, it's what's up. I like it. It's fine.
Yeah, you'll find it, man.
Yeah,
Just,
it's no rush.
Be patient with it.
It's no rush. Yeah, it's like dating all over again.
Exactly, man. But
all right, man. See you. Man.
Anyway, all right, dude.
Jaden, hang tight. You're next. I promise. All right, hang tight, Jaden. You're next. Keneal, what's poppin', man? What's up? Good, man. How you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm here to be the optimist.
You should. That's what being a fan's all about. I'm here to make you feel bad. Let's talk about why you feel good.
So I'm gonna defend every pick like really quick.
Let's do it.
All right. So Drake Jackson, Drake London, no, Drake Jackson. The thing
better than Drake London, in my opinion.
I wish. I hope so, maybe, but I think he can start. I think he's meant to 4-3 DN. I think that's why he came in as a freshman and as a Bay Area baller came in earlier, said that he had five and a half sacks his freshman year, which was his best year. If you look at his freshman year highlights, as a freshman was dominant. And like he said, the scheme, they made him play linebacker, right? And have to play 3-3-5 type of deal, or 3-4 linebacker. 4-3 end, he's gonna eat. He's gonna be dominant on our defense. So I think Drake Jackson's gonna really help us on the D line. At the running back, I like TDP. I really do. Actually, I
Is that
think
what we're calling him? TDP? Yeah. I like that. Okay, all right. Okay. I like that. TDP.
Why? I believe he's a younger back. He came out as a true junior, I believe.
Okay.
Still has doesn't have too much mileage on his legs. And the cool thing is, even though the 40 wasn't like really fast, similar to Debo's 40 wasn't really fast. The acceleration is crazy quick. His 10-yard split was like a 1.53, which still
okay
1.5. So when you watch his highlight, bruising runs, but you see some runs that almost remind me of like Debo, where he's like outruns all the angles.
Okay, that's good, because I definitely think they were drafting him with that in mind. Like, he's built like Debo, 6 feet, 220. Yeah, I think they're hoping he can do a little bit of what Debo did as a change of pace running back. Yes.
I'm not saying that he's gonna be Debo, but I do think that, like, he's a better running back that we give credit for. And I was listening to LSU scouts break down and stuff like that, and when watching some of the film just from yesterday, I was just like, I can see potential here. And with him, I also think like Mitchell is the only running back we can trust right now. Taking it doesn't really hurt us. I like the corners we picked. I feel like we added depth, honestly, a lot of positions. And then even with our undrafted free agents, adding Donovan West, adding Leon O'Neal as a safety, adding Jason Poe, we added so much depth that I still think it also leaves room for the master plan for the offseason, which would be signing J.C. Tretter, signing Debo.
Do it. Yes. Do that.
A plus. So
I'm good with that. Yeah.
It's still important. And until there's
because if they sign Tyrann Mathieu and J.C. Tretter, that signals that they're actually going for it, not punting the season. Because right now I'm like, do you care about this season? Like, are you just gonna start every rookie that you got? Like, what's the deal, man? So yeah, sign Tretter and Tyrann Mathieu, please. I love that.
My question is, if we do that, are there any holes on this team?
I mean, I don't know what they got at guard, but I mean, it's not the most important position. It seems like that's a strong team, right? That's a strong team. So, then the question is just your quarterback at that point.
And I believe in Trey. So
as do I.
I'm here the plan is still, the dream is alive, y'all. We got this. It.
I like it. You wearing that 85 jersey just to trigger me. I'm going to pretend it's Vernon Davis. Go Vernon.
Out year 2. All right. I believe. I'm all in now.
I like it, man. All right, man.
Got this.
Thanks for calling in.
I got you. See you, Grant.
Peace. Man, I feel like the Grinch over here. D-Wood 7300 says, no, I have a great relationship, means I can get him to come to the table. Remember, Debo is not even negotiating. Let's not overthink everything. Debo isn't answering his calls either. So how good is the relationship? Can you get him to come to the table? You sure? Who is Mike Jones? He was a rapper from Houston. Hasn't had a hit in a while. But man, he had some 05, 04-ish. I'm just saying. The one and only got a lot of haters and a lot of homies. Yep. I was more of a Slim Thug fan, though. I'm just saying. Thought Slim Thug's verse was just a little bit better. Jaden, what's up, man? Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing fairly well. I could say that Devo's not a 49er.
Not a 49er.
Or he's not a 49er.
Not a 49er. I like that. I like that.
So basically, I think I was right about what I said last year. Debo, screw off. You're going to play your rookie contract, and then you'll get extended next year. I really think that's what's going to happen. And if he doesn't want to play his full 100%, then we'll take away his running back carries, and then he'll get less touches. If, like I said, if he has a problem with that, well, he's a Niner. Can't do nothing about it. That's it.
I don't think you. Okay, I see what you're saying. I feel like this is wait. I've heard this from a lot of fans. Like it's a power struggle between Deebo and the Niners, and it's important for the Niners to win and show Deebo that he doesn't dictate things and stuff. But like, I don't think it's gonna work out. Like Deebo could do things that hurt his own value, but he also hurts the 49ers. And I feel like, are you really cool with Deebo just sort of like playing a few games and then shutting himself down and saying, I don't want to play for you anymore? Like, yeah, that might hurt his value next year, but at the same time, like, it really hurts your team. You could have traded him for someone else and moved on, and now you're going to lose games this year just so you can win a power struggle with Deebo and say that he didn't force our hand.
How do you know that he's not going to want to play though? I don't. In my eyes, he doesn't.
His bluff? You're saying he's bluffing.
I'm not saying he's bluffing. I'm saying I'm saying he's bluffing. I guess.
Saying he's bluffing.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's high stakes poker, man. What if he's not bluffing? What does that do to your team when he sabotages it?
You know who we got? You know who we got that I have a lot of trust in?
Tell me. TDP? Ayuk. TDP? Danny Gray? Okay.
Danny Gray and Ayuk.
Is it really worth calling Deebo's bluff? Why is it so important to call Deebo's bluff? If you want him, give him the money. If you don't want him, trade him.
I don't think we can afford the money, Grant.
Huh?
I don't think we can afford it.
Whew. The escrow is too much cash.
The Jimmy G is too much cash.
Jimmy G.
Why is he not gone? What the fuck's happening with Jimmy G?
Dude, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you anymore. I think the Niners think they're going to keep him as a backup, and then the locker room's going to vote him the starter, and it's going to be another great.
If we put Jimmy G as a backup, Grant, I promise you, I'm not watching the 49ers season this year. If Jimmy G is a 49er in 2022, I am not watching the season because he's just going to screw it up.
Pretty much.
And it's what he does every year. He screws it up.
Pretty much.
And
if they keep him and they want to keep him as a backup, I just don't believe that he'll stay the backup. It seems
he won't.
It seems like a lot of people on this locker room want him to start no matter what. Because I don't think they have the patience to like let Trey Lance go through his rookie growing pains. Jimmy wins, whatever.
Yeah.
So Trey Lance isn't allowed to have any mistakes. That's the whole that's the whole undertone, right? Doesn't matter what Jimmy does because he has the magic sauce. He wins. Trey better make no mistakes because otherwise you just got to go back to this winning machine. Like that's what he is.
You know who doesn't believe in that Jimmy G is a winner?
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk.
The rest of the league. Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Because he'll be 60 yards down the field waving his arms and Jimmy G's, oh, you're over there? Nah, I'll throw to
doesn't even look at him.
I'll throw to Jermichael Hasty in the backfield so I can get 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah. All right, Jaden. Look, relax. The Deebo Samuel thing, they could work it out. Kyle seems confident.
I got faith. I really do think that it's being over dramatic. Like people are over dramatizing it. I really do feel like they're close because Deebo Samuel did hold up the Deebo's back thing. He held it up at the draft.
I'm pretty sure he was selling that shirt before the draft. I could be wrong. He's been selling that for a while. No one noticed. It's kind of annoying that he's like profiting off of this whole drama.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm a wide back. Buy my shirt. Actually, I don't want to be on this team anymore, but I'm back. Buy my shirt. He should just at this point make 2 more shirts. I love Deebo and I hate Deebo. And that way, like both sides can buy one. You know what I'm saying? He should do that.
Or I'm being unreasonable and won't take negotiations with the Niners. How about that one?
Would you buy that from him? Would you give him $20 for that?
I'm not buying. $20 is going to be like $50. Grant, come on. You know,
35 plus tax and shipping.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jaden. Have a good Sunday, man.
All right, you too, man.
All right, later. Jay Hutch.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Doing all right. Hey, I just want to say, dude, like, for the people that think that there's not something going on with Deebo and the Niners, they are smoking some crazy shit. Like,
Did you see like John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's body language
when
during
you
the press
asked
conference?
a couple questions and John's face just looked so disgusted, like he did not want to talk about you.
No, not at all.
Body language, you read it on their face, their eyes,
and there was no enthusiasm for the picks they made. Like he'd be trying to talk about the picks, and Kyle's over there sitting like, what's on your mind, bud? Oh, you got a big problem with your best player, huh? That's
like
kind of over.
It's just crazy, like that press conference and the one where it was just John's press conference. What was that on Monday?
Yes,
those that have to be like the
all-time
worst press conferences in like
all-time
10 years for the Niners.
Yeah, absolutely,
has to be like the worst. So I just want to say, dude, like all your haters that always think you're trying to spin stuff or whatever, like this dude has almost 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Also, he's an insider for the 49ers. Like whatever you want to believe, like he, you know, he has clout, you know.
Thank you.
Like you're doing great, man.
I don't have that many connections, but I did find out a night before the draft that the Niners weren't trading Debo, and that was very good information.
You know, I
mean,
felt
they
like
shouldn't have, but they're
traded,
dug in. What's that?
I felt like if you would have gotten traded, it would have happened a day or two before because, you know, the supposed grandfather, come on. Wasn't
it
happening.
Just, I feel like the Niners won't do it because they're so afraid of like what the narrative would be. You know, they lost control. Yeah. The player forced his way out. It sets a bad precedent. Also, from Kyle's perspective, his ego, like it shoots a hole in the idea, the perception that he's this player's coach. Players love him. If Debo forces his way out, like, well, then where's Kyle now? No one's done that to Sean McVay, right? And I think he's very cognizant of that perception. He's like, I can't let this happen. Debo and I are close. Really?
I have a theory.
Okay.
We know what happened with the Yorks and Harbaugh.
Yes.
Did you hear the rumor about like Jed York coming into the locker room and Harbaugh said this place is like, the quote was like, this place is for men, and basically kicked them out? Did you hear
heard that rumor, but Harbaugh will deny that.
Right, obviously.
What I've heard, that was actually an erroneous report because, dude, if Harbaugh did that, dude,
he's a boss.
You can't say that to the owner.
I know, but he's a boss.
Harbaugh said he never said that, so I don't know.
Obviously, like, you know, that disdain. I think that's happening with Kyle and the Yorks and Prague. Kyle wants to win, and Prague and Yorks aren't letting him.
Yeah, it's possible, and I think as these players are here longer and they realize, like, yeah, Kyle is the coach and he's the face and he's the team, but there's this guy Parag. And you may not know him yet, but you're gonna get to know him. And what you're gonna learn is that he's basically the most powerful man in the organization.
Oh, for sure. I don't see the Niners winning a Super Bowl unless they're gone.
I agree.
It's sad to say.
They just sort of profit off of the DeBartolo with the DeBartolo regime. Oh, we used to be great, 5 Lombardis. We're on a quest for 6, but really they're just on a quest to fill Levi Stadium and control the narrative. Yeah, they sell nostalgia. They freaking sell nostalgia.
It's, you know, nostalgia is the number one most selling thing, probably, right?
Dude,
like,
the Niners and Cowboys do it. I don't know if you've ever been to Dallas, but I went once this last year for their playoff game, and you get to the airport and you're walking around, and all you see is pictures of Emmitt Smith like it's 1994. It's amazing. I was like, look at this 27-year-old Emmitt Smith. Wow, he looks great. He hasn't aged a day. They are living in 1995 in Dallas. It's crazy.
Well, life is all about comparisons. I mean, right? Like you live, you compare, and nostalgia is like the key factor just to sell shit.
Yeah, the Yorks sell nostalgia, and they make it seem like they're, you know, in their tradition or something. I mean, the whole bringing in Kyle Shanahan was a big nostalgia move. His dad was the OC on our last Super Bowl victory. And then every year when everything's go bad, like, oh, we tweaked our uniforms. They're a little bit more like they were in the past. We brought the 94 Red Ones back. You're going to love that. Ooh, we got the third stripe and the saloon font. You got to like that saloon font.
I looked at the uniform and I was like, did anything change?
It looks exactly the same. They put one more stripe. There's a third stripe. You didn't see that third stripe?
Say what you want about the San Francisco Giants, but they have like 15 different uniforms. They're trying new things, right? Like they have Orange Friday at the City Connect. They have the black. They have black. Like they're doing everything. Niners have kept like the same uniforms for a long time,
and they've kept the same contract negotiator since 2001. Haven't they outgrown Parag? Do they still need him?
I don't
Is he
understand.
really an asset?
Like okay, how much money do the Niners actually have, and are they just not willing to spend? That's what I want to know.
It's a good question. I mean, they're one of the more lucrative franchises. They print money, but the Yorks they don't have other things. Like a lot of these owners are super wealthy from other stuff. Like the guy on the Rams, him and his wife they have Walmart money. They got Walmart money over there. They got $10 billion. Like, what are the Niners doing? And are they tripping about having to give out all this guaranteed money in escrow accounts to Debo and Bosa? What's up with that? I don't know.
I don't get it. Like, I don't know how you let Buckner walk either. That was
why said it was the right thing to do.
Clearly not.
Clearly not. All right, Jay Hutch. Thanks for calling.
All right, see you guys. Hey, no hating on Grant, guys.
Jay Hutch said so.
He's not spending anything. It's just how can you not see it? The writing is on the wall with the whole Deebo situation. Like, whatever side you believe, like something is going on. Someone's unhappy, and it's clearly Deebo.
Just look at Kyle Shanahan's face in John's face as well.
Dude, John's presser on Monday was absolute hot garbage.
It was bad. It was bad. All right, man. Later,
see you, man.
Peace.
GC.
Tennessee's finest. What's up?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I think everybody needs to relax, dude. Relax. We were literally a game away from the Super Bowl. Our fan base sometimes is a tad bit ridiculous. You think the Cowboy fans would love to be in the situation we're in? Oh, let me answer that for you. Yeah, they hadn't won one playoff game. As much crap as we give Shanahan and Lynch about the regime, as far as the roster and everything, somehow every time they make it to the playoffs, at the very least, they make it to the NFC Championship. And again, I know Jay gave that stupid speech a long time ago. We're not about hanging NFC Championship banners, but hell, it's better than being freaking Dallas and not having won a playoff game that mattered in like the last 20 years. Oh, let's ask the Steelers fans. How have they been doing the last 10 years?
But
no.
Why did the Dallas Cowboys lose their playoff game this last year?
A terrible coach. Terrible coaching.
A guy named Deebo Samuel was on the field.
That's true. I love Debo, but at a certain point, you have to step back from the situation. I want him to get his money too. But dude, it's a way of going about it. And I'm not team first guy. I'm all about everybody getting what they deserve. But throwing temper tantrums, tweeting cryptic stuff, and then saying, nah, throwing a brick in how you hand. Dude, if it's a problem, say it's a problem. If you wanted to be traded, you should have took the AJ Brown route. Don't say nothing.
He's simultaneously selling Deebo Samuel his back shirts while telling Jeremy Fowler, I still want to trade. How do you do that? How do you profit off of it?
Exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying.
And he's selling wide back shirts while telling the Niners he doesn't want to play wide back anymore. That's crazy, man.
And that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. I feel for John. And Kyle is like, bro, like, we want to pay you. I mean, like you and Larry talked about before, the contract might not stand up to, actual autopsy, but hell, at least the first 3 years, you're getting all your money.
Yeah, and the headline will look good. You're the highest paid, whatever you want to be.
Exactly. And do we honestly think, I hate to say this, do we honestly think he's going to be the same player in the next 3 years? Yes or no?
That's a good question. And honestly, I think we should have had this conversation with Kittle 2 years ago, because the answer for Kittle has been a resounding no since he signed his contract. He's still good, but he's not what he was. And he's on the down. And is that going to happen to Debo too? I don't know. Like, I think there's some questions, right? Like, is he going to keep his weight down? Is he always going to work as hard in the offseason? How is he going to respond to getting a lot of money? Well, how is he responding this offseason? What are the tea leaves telling you now? I mean, it's fair to be like, I don't know if you're ever going to get 2021 Debo. 2021 Debo may never, ever appear ever again. I don't know.
Dude, that was an anomaly. And I mean, and you look at it and you say, all right, cool, he put those numbers up with Jimmy. So surely he can do that with Trey. And it's like, maybe.
Is he going to come into camp 250? Like last year, he was lean, mean, 215, looking great. What if he comes into camp at 230? He has trouble keeping his weight down. Did you see him at the South Carolina spring game? I mean, he looked thick. Sorry.
Yes. And then you're talking about giving this guy 60+ million. And it's like, all right, cool, we give him the money. Now what?
Now what? I'm just saying, look, they had a big decision. They could have taken the Jets' offer. They felt insulted by it. They would have had to give the second round pick. They would have got the 10th pick. They would have had their pick of any wide receiver in the draft except for Drake London, who shouldn't have gone number 8.
No,
and they could have just moved on, but they didn't.
But we're playing the known commodity versus the unknown commodity. You go back and look at all those mega trades more often than not. Oh, the team that got the draft picks.
But you know what is known? That Debo doesn't want to play for the 49ers anymore. And Kyle thinks he's going to change his mind because they have such a great relationship. Dude, you might be tripping.
Dude, part of it. But here's the thing, though. I don't really believe it. Because if he really didn't want to be there, he would have went nuclear instead of just throw a brick out your hand. He said something crazy, and then he's like, well, nobody really knows the real story. Okay, well, what's the story?
Well, yesterday he had Odell Beckham Jr. saying that the Patriots are going to trade for Debo. Debo's like, oh, there goes Odell again, saying crazy stuff. But really, I mean, he's got a loose cannon. What's Odell going to tweet today? He could tweet something any minute. I don't think Debo's done it all. I think he's got more plays up his sleeve.
You mean the same guy who played on the team that put him out the playoffs and kept him from the Super Bowl? Yeah, okay. I ain't buying it, dude. That dude has, what's the word I'm looking for, not to be offensive? He got tendencies.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
What? Not them type of tendencies, but like he just stirs up stuff, dude. Like,
okay.
Like it's like, dude,
he's dramatic.
Like this, this ain't got nothing to do with you. And that's another prime example of you paid a guy, he got hurt, and he hadn't been the same since. And I reiterate, again, I'm all for people getting their money, but it's a way you go about it. You know who you're dealing with. You know what you're dealing with when it comes to them. Hey.
That's why he wants to leave. He knows Parag ain't changing. He knows exactly what Parag is. It's not going to happen. I want to go. And the thing is, like Kyle talks about, he has a great relationship with Debo. Nah, Odell Beckham Jr. has a great relationship with Debo. That's Debo's best friend right now. That's when he sees your call, Kyle, he goes, ignore. But when Odell Beckham calls, it's like FaceTime, man, let's talk. I'm just saying.
Yeah, let's follow the dude who had a terrible middle of the career and got paid and got shipped to the Browns because I don't want to be with the Giants, and then disappeared and had to get his dad to get him off the team, and just so happened the Browns are so stupid they cut him, and
maybe
LA
Debo's
went inside.
Dad needs to step in.
Yeah, he need to tell him to shut the hell up, chill out. That's what he need to tell him. Like,
hey man, talk to Odell. It's all OBJ at this point. Debo ain't doing nothing.
Mad respect for Trey for at least stepping in and saying, "Bruh, chill." Like everybody needs to chill. If you want to get what you want, you get it a whole lot easier if you're working with the side that you're trying to negotiate with. Versus, all right, I ain't like what happened at dinner. I'm mad, so I'm gonna start tweeting stuff and taking stuff down. But then I'm gonna tweet it and kind of stand behind it and be like, nah, Grant tripping. He lying.
Grant's missing. Grant's tripping.
You called it, bro.
I'm the bad guy, man. It's all me.
You're not the bad guy in the situation. You told him, look, they did this with Fred. They did this with Kittle. They did it with DeForest Buckner.
And they have leverage against you, man. This running back thing, you may think it's in your favor. It's not. It's not. Yeah. And I don't think he understood that. I honestly think he didn't get it.
Bro, it's not even that. It's the fact that, okay, sit out. You're going to miss 50,000 every single camp and game that you sit out. And then you put yourself in a situation where you wind up being stuck as a restricted free agent next year.
Here's the thing. I really feel like this is the issue with Debo, okay? Debo was on pace for like 1,800, 2,000 receiving yards. He was going crazy, and the Niners were losing. They said, they asked him to play running back. There's a lot of reasons. They needed him. All of a sudden, his targets got cut in half. And instead of getting 18, 19, 12,000, 2,000 receiving yards, he got 1,400. That cost him money. And from his perspective, why'd you do that to me? Did you do it out of the bet because it was best for the team, or did you do it to save some money? Did you see where this was going? I'm telling you, I bet you during the season.
No, that was to save some jobs. That's what that was.
You cut my targets in half. Oh, so you're saving yourself some money. You're not prepared to spend for a wide receiver who's got 1,900 receiving yards. Like, he might feel that way. He could be wrong, but who's to say? I mean, he might be right, because that's exactly how the Niners do business. Like, we didn't really factor in Debo at that price in the future, so maybe we can sort of fix this. Kyle, Can you stop throwing it to him 11 times a game? Because we can't afford that. Can you give him touches from the backfield too? I don't know. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
Well,
if he's thinking that, then he's thinking, man, you guys betrayed me.
Well, you said it best. They were 3-5 when they were throwing it to him, and after that, when he started running, they will run into the playoffs. So if both parties can cordially sit down and put their feelings to the side, because I'm sick of hearing Debo feel offended. So I feel offended about stuff at my job too. But at the end of the day, as mad as I am, look, we can sit down, we can be men, and we can come to an agreement. And again, I know sports is a different animal. This is something that takes years off your life. But yeah, go run and get paid. Go pay for the Jaguars and make 80 million guaranteed. And then have that ESPN 30 for 30 about, man, you know what? That money wasn't worth it. I went to Jacksonville.
Before I let you go, real quick, Ben Simmons, the NBA. All right, what happened with Ben Simmons? He didn't want to play at Philly anymore, right? He just stopped playing for him. It's like, I'm done. I'm done with you guys. And then he eventually got his wish and got traded. Like, that stuff is going to start happening in the NFL. I know, not an NFL-y type of thing, and teams like don't want to let that. It's going to start happening.
But here's the thing: he had a track record of that, dude. He quit on LSU. He quit on the Australian national team. He's always been on.
I'm just saying, football players are going to start taking pages out of NBA players' books of how to control my destiny. How to control my destiny. And a guy like Fred Warner can't. But once you start getting into that like 60 million guaranteed range, all of a sudden, that player feels like, oh man, I'm a star. I don't have to take less. I don't have to bend the knee. I don't have to worship you. I mean, it's on my terms now, baby.
Yep. And that's why AJ Brown ass got shipped right on out. So Debo, go take that.
I'm happy to pay him to a player friendly team. I don't know what Tennessee's doing over there. That's old school.
You mean to
Treylon Burks? Good luck with that, dog.
You mean to a quarterback who doesn't throw? So as I stated before, tell Debo, look, take that 60 guarantee, be happy, go put that jersey back on. Because if you get traded to some hellhole team, which is probably what's gonna happen, you'll win 4 games a year and be like, man, I got all this money.
Does he care?
I think he does.
We'll see. All right, man. Good to see you.
Good seeing you, man.
Peace. Last call, and then I gotta go. Irvin at the buzzer. What's up?
Yo, what's up, bro? How you
doing, man? Good to see you.
You too, man. Been a lot of interesting comments today, man. I've just been sitting back enjoying everybody's commentary. But first, I got a couple points. First thing, man, were you a comedian before you decided to be a commentator, man? When you said that is Kyle gonna go play PlayStation with the boy to try to bend this relationship, man? Dude, I lost it, bro.
What is the plan here, Kyle? What are you doing? I don't understand.
Bro, what are you doing?
How did you get everyone to like you in high school? What was the playbook here?
That looked like something he'll do though. Cut on the Xbox.
Pip Ahoy. Dude. What do you got, man? I don't know. Rich kids always had things up their sleeve, man. Because you always want to have a rich friend, right? Hey, man, I got the PlayStation and the Xbox and the GameCube. All right. We're friends again. I'm coming over.
It's all good. But no, man. Seriously, it was a couple callers back. Guy, you made a comment about he thinks Debo's scrambling at this point. He thinks he's in a bad position. And I heard a lot of fans kind of not siding, but more on the bandwagon of the team. And why is he acting like a diva? And those kind of takes. Man, listen, if you want to hold anybody responsible for the way Debo is acting right now, take a look at your head coach. Who was the guy who decided, and to your point that you made earlier about, let's not give him as many touches as a wide receiver. Let's cut that down a little bit. We know we're gonna have to pay him, and we might have to pay Ayuk, and we might have to pay all these other guys.
We didn't budget for this.
So if you want to blame
anybody, stuff all the time, Debo isn't supposed to work for his money, right?
So you mean to tell me you're gonna ask the man to do extra work, and then when he's so-called acting like a diva, to try to get what his just due, the team should be getting some type of sympathy for that. No. No, they brought this all on themselves.
Yes, I agree.
Come on.
And they're like, oh, we have this great player. We don't know what to do about it. Oh, that's a terrible problem to have. Well, I'm so sympathetic. Oh, my God. You have Deebo. What do I do? If Deebo Samuel, what do I do? I don't know. Pay him or trade him. It's that freaking simple. Pay him, trade him. You took option 3. What is that? That's ego. That's pride. That's pride fucking with you, as Ving Rhames said in Pulp Fiction. That is pride. Don't do that.
If anybody's scrambling right now, it's Prague and maybe the front office. That's the only people that may be scrambling. Yeah, it's terrible. And last point about the draft, man. I mean, they filled pretty much all the needs they had. I mean, I don't really see too much of too much to complain about there. They filled pretty much all the needs for the most part. That running back, though, yeah, that's a head scratcher. I'm sorry. I was lost with that one. I was just like,
here's my theory. There is no guarantee the Niners work this out with Debo, and they know it. That's their first choice, is to work it out with Debo. But there's also a scenario where they don't, and then they need to replace him with a running back and a wide receiver. They drafted a running back and a wide receiver in round 3. So they're prepared for that in case it happens, which they don't want it to happen. But I think the Ravens are lurking. I think everyone kind of realizes the Ravens have no wide receivers and they would love to have Debo. There's rumors that they try to trade for him before the draft. I mean, they could trade next year's first. They could trade Marlon Humphrey. Just saying, the Ravens are waiting for the Niners to like tap out and be like, okay, we can't fix this. Okay, great. We're right here. We're right here. We want him.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Ravens made power moves in that draft, man.
That's right. They had a great draft. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they let it come to them. Every time someone slipped, oh, that guy's, let's take him. The Niners are like, oh, we love the player. Who cares that the rest of the league thinks he's a 5th round pick? We love him. Like, okay, sweet.
Yeah,
so now
we don't reform. It don't matter.
Yeah. So because teams like the Niners exist, the Ravens get to just profit in the draft every year. And they've been doing this since I was in high school, man. It's like, how did that guy drop to the Ravens again?
And they wonder why them boys always in the playoffs every year. They always competing every year. Pretty easy, man.
Good call. I'm glad that you came in and stuck up for Debo, because I think you're the first one today to do it.
You got to say the best for last, man. And like I said, just sitting back listening to everything, it just kind of gave me like a more holistic view on it. And
I think Debo's trying to be careful here because he knows the Niners have kind of like made him out to be the bad guy. And if he does too much online, he'll lose more support than he already has. But this whole thing with Odell Beckham is real weird, right? It almost feels coordinated. Like, hey, man, I can't say anything. But you say some stuff. He'll be like, yeah, man, I'm crazy. Like, no one be believing what I say anyway. I'll just be saying stuff, right? I'll just be saying stuff. He's like,
we can't let people all the way off the hook. Some of the antics, they're a little questionable. But back to the point. Who brought it on him? The team or him? Who put him in this position? The team or him? It's pretty easy, man.
The second half of the season, in terms of targets, he was 3rd on the team after Kittle and Ayuk, just in terms of targets. How did that happen? And was that a mistake? Was that a coincidence? Or was that the Niners being like, hey, we can't afford that. We can't afford him to have Cooper Kupp numbers. I'm so sorry. We can't. It's a lot of money.
It's not possible. Both a contract coming up.
Yep. Sorry. All right, man. Good to see you, man. Have a great weekend.
You too, bro.
All right, later. HR says, WFC, go Warriors. I feel you, man. Let me take this off my face. I got to go. I'm going to take these last couple comments. Sorry I couldn't get everyone's call. Ethan M says, best worst pick of the draft. UDFAs as well. Best pick of the draft. The ones I liked the most were Drake Jackson, Kalia Davis, and Tariq Castro Fields. Those 3, I like those picks. I like those picks very much. The worst picks, I did not like round 3, the running back and the wide receiver. I felt those were reaches. Didn't like Burford. Felt that was a reach. And I didn't like Womack. Felt that was a reach. But I haven't seen these guys in person yet. I'll have a much better feel when I see them in training camp. I'm better at scouting when I see someone in person. Not that just in person, but like when you see them all in an NFL field competing against NFL talent, it becomes apparent. So that's my initial gut reaction, but I'll be wrong on a lot of stuff. Parag is a lackey, the accountant of York bidding. Yup. It's too bad that he has that much power. Noah says OBJ saying the Patriots as a dig to the Niners since they don't want to pay. I don't know. I think he's probably trying to keep Deebo Samuel in the news. I think Deebo feels like he doesn't want to alienate more fans. He doesn't want to have people against him. So OBJ, you do it. That's my guess. Yeah, I'm sorry I got to end the Cohn phone, but I really do got to end it. Poppy Pablo XXS says, chill, Grant. You know nothing, bro. Okay, I'll go chill. Sorry. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with Vish, I think, as long as he's around. See what he thinks about the draft. I bet he likes it. I don't know. I'm not going to talk for him, actually. Well, no, but we're going to grade it. We're going to give our grades. Tomorrow will be fun. Go watch some. I'm going to go check out some houses. And I'll see you guys soon. We'll do another Cohn phone soon, I promise. Jackass Penguin, Tantara. I'll get you guys. Yorks need to sell the team for the Niners to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Good luck. See you guys.